Thank you, Can Corla. Minister, just 2 days ago, the IMF published its first medium-term forecast since the onset of the coronavirus, where they state that the pandemic will leave significant scars on the global economy. But they go on to say that in the short term, countries able to borrow, and that's us, Minister, and I quote, should borrow as much as needed to protect the public from the impact of the virus and limit the extent of the financial contractions. And what it does say that in the longer term, we need to look at our debt burdens. And again, I quote, it says that the focus now must be on mitigating the impact of COVID-19. So that's the context of Wednesday's budget. And while there are many positives in the budget, and I am happy to acknowledge that, I believe we should have been more ambitious, certainly in 2 areas. First of all, we needed a more ambitious investment programme, especially in the regions, to act as a catalyst for a balance of development between the regions. The Minister just referred to the N4 a few minutes ago. I think we have heard that for about 5 years. It's great to see it, but Collooney Castle Baldwin, thankfully, is almost finished. Taoiseach Varadkar said this morning that rural broadband will be delivered in 5 years rather than 6 or 7. But, Minister, that's too long, because the digital economy will move on and the regions will be left behind. We need to see more urgency here. But I suppose the area where I believe we should have been that bit more ambitious, and I am not talking multiple billions here. I think a more modest investment in a few key areas would have made a big difference in providing the safety net that a number of sectors need. Yes, you did provide a safety net on Wednesday, but I tell you, there are a few holes in it. And I'll start with early childcare. The budget did nothing to address the chronic capital underfunding and the really low salaries that are prevalent in this industry. It's a frontline service, but we have not treated it as such in Wednesday's budget. I also believe, Minister, we should have maintained the tiered pup payment with €350 as the highest payment. The arguments in favour are overwhelming, and the truth is that that €50 per week could mean the difference between a family just existing and falling through the cracks. And speaking about falling through the cracks, I had a look at the defence budget, and yes, there's monies available, mainly for buying new equipment. But my question is, who's going to operate this new equipment? Many people are leaving the Defence Forces. We have a number of ships below in Hull Bolton in Cork. Now, I know some of them are in for renovation, but we don't have the trained staff to operate some of our naval vessels. So we have members of the Defence Forces on family income supplement and others not much above the minimum wage. We should have looked at that on Wednesday. But finally, Minister, I want to speak about carers, who I am heartbroken to say are worse off after Wednesday's budget. Minister, the carers allowance was greater in 2009 than it is today. I know most people won't believe that, but check the figures, it's true. And the income disregard for carers allowance was cut in 2007, and in 13 years it has never been increased. Many of us are rightly getting pay restoration, but carers are not. Yes, there was a €150 increase in the annual carer support grant. That's an extra €3 per week to cover the worst effects of the pandemic. Now, in all honesty, €3 per week will do very little. And it won't be in place until June 2021, when most of us expect we'll be well on the way out of this pandemic. Also, Minister, the fuel allowance increased by €350, but carers' allowance is not a qualifying payment for fuel allowance. Most carers won't get it. And the living alone allowance, again, because carers do, by definition, not live alone, they will not be able to access this allowance. So, while there are 5 million additional hours and they're welcome, nonetheless, they won't even cover the shortfall in adult day care services. So, Minister, carers are asking, in regard to their need for support, if not now, when?